13 News, Kansas News Leader.
The Topeka Festival Singers are keeping the faith with their upcoming concert. Singers President Grace Morrison and Artistic Director Brett Robison are here to tell us what is in store. And I love when you guys come because you are just so creative about the way you have your theme. This whole theme of the season, Grace, is celebrate. So what are we celebrating this time around?
This time around, we're celebrating sacred music. The title of the concert is Celebrate the Majesty, and it's sacred music through the years. And he has done a beautiful job of programming.
How did you decide to bring this theme to life?
Yeah, I wanted it to be a balance of a very quick journey of the incredible music history of church choral music.
And you're quick to point out, it's church music. This is not a church service.
It's not a church service.
Is a celebration.
No, we want everyone from all faiths to feel welcome here. But choral music specifically, especially the choral music that we sing in this country, it was born out of the church. And so we want to celebrate that history. So you'll hear everything from early Renaissance music with Palestrina, who actually his birthday is 500 years ago, so it's a big anniversary.
They just did a thing at Grace Cathedral.
Yeah,
they had a group come in
yeah.
and talk about that.
So
anyhow,
it's a big year, you know. But composers that most people know, of course, Bach, Mozart, you know. So it's going to be something that everyone go, oh, I know that composer, or I've heard that piece before. And then the second half is celebrating the church music that you know is more born out of the 20th and 21st centuries.
So you're going to have some contemporary Christian coming in here too?
Yes, and we have almost 50 community members joining us. We're going to do 2 rock and gospel pieces at the end.
Rock and gospel. I love the way you term that.
Well, I think so. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I mean,
we're
going to have a drum set, bass. So it's just going to be such an incredible variety where you start with chant-based music, early polyphony all the way to gospel music.
How much fun is this for the singers' members, the performers, Grace? Because I mean, even when you think about the popular musicians, if you ask a lot of them where they got their start, it was the church choir.
That's exactly right, and it really is fun, and it keeps us on our toes because we start from chant-like music, which is a very pure sound, and we have to be, and some of it's unison, which is kind of the hardest thing to sing because
if one person's off,
the whole thing is bad. But then you go all the way to gospel music and things like Amazing Grace and This Little Light of Mine. So there's, like he said, there's this wonderful balance, and it challenges us to change from one style of music to another, from one song to the next. So, and it really is fun to sing.
So you mentioned those titles, Amazing Grace, This Little Light of Mine. Any other song titles that people might recognize?
I would think a lot, especially if they grew up in the church, How Great Thou Art. That's I think one of the singers' favorites. At least many of them have come up to me and tell me that, because it's just a huge bombastic arrangement of it. And so we're going to have almost 100 voices singing that particular arrangement.
Oh my gosh, so I'm getting chills just thinking about that. Bombastic is a good word to describe it too. And then the ones where the instrumentalists come in, that'll add a different element too.
Yes, it does. I mean, sometimes some of our songs are a cappella, and then we have the violin, cello, and like he said, a bass and a guitar and a drum set and organ, I believe, on
organ. Yeah, I just felt we have to have pieces that feature the organ, so it's more.
Yes, that is definitely, nothing says church, just like the organ, right?
Well, and the organ's great in White Concert Hall, so we try to use it whenever we can.
And the acoustics are great in White Concert Hall as well, which is very reminiscent of a church, because if you want the acoustics, go to a church with the soaring ceiling and the sounds just kind of bounce and surround you. Surround sound.
Exactly.
In that natural type setting.
And no matter what, I mean, whether people are from a faith background or not, they will be inspired by this concert.
Well, you got me sold. So 7:30 Monday evening, March 10th at White Concert Hall on the Washburn University campus is where this will take place. Tickets are $30 for adults, $25 for seniors, and $15 for the students. You can get them at the door or get them in advance at TopekaFestivalSingers.org. Grace, Brett, thank you both so very much. Appreciate you telling us all about it. Good luck with the concert on Monday.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you along with us today for Eye on Northeast Kansas as well. Stay tuned. Investigate TV Plus is coming up next, and then be right back here in a half hour for your latest local news and weather on Live at 5. Have a great afternoon.